Hello, we're going to quickly go over how to do Boiler Room Doom in all levels. So, very first thing you do when you get here, don't have to worry about activating the checkpoint because we are going to have to play through the whole level. Here, grab Cortex. So when you get here, make sure you do a slide jump so you can get a long jump across the gap. If you throw him over the acid, he'll actually teleport back to you, and if you throw him onto the platform, you'll have to death abuse. So we're going to throw him into the acid and not jump all the way over because we're a dummy and not going to do a long jump. So throw him into the acid, do a long jump, and then he'll teleport back to you. Alright, there's two different things we can do here. So the first one, which I think is easier, is get onto this line here, face straight forward, and then you want to walk forward all the way right until you're right on the edge of this platform. And then throw Cortex with a spinning throw. And that time I just wasn't far enough forward. You might want to try being a little bit to the right as well. You need to make sure your angle is perfectly straight. You need to be right on the edge. And there you go. You can hit the wheel and the platforms will raise and you can jump across them. Your second option is to throw Cortex and then stand here. And it'll take a second and Cortex will warp to you. Then you want to spin him and you'll fall through. Hit the button to smash him once. And then you can throw Cortex and jump out. And you need to wait for him to actually teleport to you here so you don't kill him. Then from here, you want to jump onto this area here. This has some collision. Then jump onto the pipe again. Back to the pipe. And then jump down. So it's that simple. So either you can go around using the pipe, or you can throw Cortex into the wheel and go down the intended way. So continue on. Grab this checkpoint here. So your two options here. I'm actually going to death abuse here, just so I can show both. Your first one is you either want to spin Cortex at this section of the wheel here, which will cause the platforms to raise. Or if you'd like to go through faster, what you want to do is store a long jump, and you want to do a very slow double jump over to this section of the wheel. And you'll hit some collision, and you want to jump onto this. If you fall onto the pipe below, you can hop onto that platform and come up with it, and save your run. Otherwise, you'll have to die. Next, we're just going to play through this section normally. Not an absolute ton to discuss here. If you get stuck, you can jump on this part here if it's going to drop on you. Cortex will warp back here. If you're on console, you'll have to wait a little bit. Alright, so here, sometimes it's random whether or not you get hit because it's hard to see. Just keep going along. There's really not much to discuss in this part. Depending on how much you can slide jump determines on how much time you can save. Alright, Cortex will warp back to you here as well. You just want to get rid of him. Cortex can warp here and die, but if you get to the checkpoint fast enough, it shouldn't matter. So now we're going to complete this puzzle, and this puzzle is really not too difficult. This is the easier puzzle to complete of the two. So you're going to throw Cortex in here, long jump across, get another long jump stored. So next, make sure Cortex goes in there as well. He has a small chance to miss. You want to come here, you want to long jump over to this blue wheel, slide jump over to this section, hit the blue wheel again, and make sure you get a long jump there. So let's catch back up real quick to where we were. long jump here to onto this platform. You have a long amount of time, so it's not a huge risky jump. And platform over and hit that blue one. So either now you can go across back this way using the intended platforms, or if you want to go a little bit faster, drop back down here, slide jump onto this platform, and then long jump over onto this area. So you can see here, because I didn't check, Cortex didn't actually make it in. So just give him a gentle push to the right area, hit the button, and he'll go activate the platforms for you. You can hit this as well if you want. I would highly recommend not doing that on Xbox because it does cause a little bit of additional lag. So here you can just leave Cortex behind. We really don't need to focus on him. Get the checkpoint, hit the blue wheel and jump forward. When it reaches the top, jump off over to here. If you don't wait till it's at the top, then you won't make it. Alright, this jump is very precise. You need to jump off as soon as you spin it, so if not, that will happen. I was a little bit slow there. Let's see if I can show you exactly what you're supposed to do there. So you need to have the slide jump, then, and that time I went a little too fast. So this jump is actually probably the hardest jump to do out of all of them for skipping cycles. And I'm trying to go too fast. Alright. And my inputs are dropping. This is great for a tutorial. If I game over, that'd be hilarious here. So, spin it, and then long jump over, just like that. Alright, this is also one of the harder tricks. So personally, I like to stand as far left as I can, but some people like to stand in the middle. You want to jump and aim for the wheel there. And you want to make sure that by the time you're doing your second jump, you're pulling back on the stick so you make it onto the platform. Otherwise, you won't actually make it. And the area you're trying to go for is around in here, except it's a little closer to the wheel than I just jumped. So after that, you'll just jump down, or walk down if you want to, and make it across here, and then you'll do one last long jump, and there you go. You'll go fight Dingle Dial, and that'll be Boiler. And this is the beginner section. So now I'll cover how you do all levels expertly. So I'm going to load a save state here. So here we are back at the beginning. And we're going to play through the level again. It's very similar to what we did this first part here to the regular one. So grab Cortex, move on to the second room. Walk forward all the way to the edge. Throw him. Miss because I wasn't perfectly straight and that was a little to the left. Then we will go forward again. You go a little bit more forward. Throw him to the right area. Miss again. There we go. That's a little bit to the right of this line. So, continue down. Don't hit the nitro there because you will die because you're not zombie. And keep on going. Kill these rats if you don't want to have to deal with them because sometimes they can be a pain. Alright, so this is where the routes really begin to differ. So here, what you want to do is actually death abuse at this checkpoint. We need to get Cortex back for this. So throw Cortex at the door because he'll automatically go for the thing here. So we do need the bridge open in order to be able to do this next skip. Grab Cortex back, and you're going to run all the way back to the door here. And you want to spin around, throw him back, and you want to stand about here at the edge. Next, we're going to use a trick that makes Cortex invisible. So you want to run by him and spin him. This is very similar to skipping Ice Climb in any percent. It's actually the same exact thing as skipping Ice Climb any percent. It can be a little bit precise, but once you get it, you want to run all the way back across, and you want to come over to around here. So let's see if we can do this first try. This is a very hard snipe here. So we're going to try, I think this is the angle I need, so we're going to throw a Cortex here. Then we'll just immediately die. And hopefully get it. And we didn't get it, so every time you fail, this loses a ton of time. But it's kind of RNG there whether or not he runs straight to it, because if he hits a rat, he won't run to it. And this is the frustrating part of the skip, is that if you miss the checkpoint, you begin to start to lose a small amount of time. And if you miss it twice, then you start to lose a lot of time. And if you're standing inside the chunk, or too far forward, he won't teleport back to you. So you need to make sure that you're kind of in this area. Alright, so we're going to try this again. And if we don't get it, then I'm just going to switch to a different save state so I can show you guys what the angle actually looks like. So it is very similar to what this is right now. It's not quite that. Alright, I think it's this. And did we get it? So the way you can tell if you get it is that there's bats here on the other one. So just for the sake of time, just so I can show you guys what it should look like. I believe it's save state 4 I want. Nope. Here we go. This is what the actual snipe looks like. Alright. So if you throw Cortex, and then you can just die. And if you want to save a life, you can have Cortex teleport into the acid instead. So let's throw Cortex, and you'll just keep moving on. And you know, you can do whatever movement you need to here to get by. And then we're going to do this same exact thing we just did again, except a little different this time. So get Cortex again. Kill this bug because usually it can mess you up. Throw Cortex, you're going to stand here on the edge. He's going to teleport back to you. Eventually, this time a little slower because he's doing some more animations in this section. And you want to make him invisible again. And you do need to spin him when you're on this side of him and walk onto the other side. So that time I spun him too early and didn't walk by him. Alright, let's see if we can get it this time. There we go. So, now what you want to do, run around here, come to this section here, and you want to turn so you're facing this direction. This is important because of the invisible walls in the other chunk. So if you throw him here, you'll actually be able to get him to teleport back to you a little bit slower than if you threw him another direction. After you throw him, you want to scale up these pipes and onto the fan there. So I'll show you what it looks like in hopefully one motion. And that's what you don't want to do. Alright, so give me a second while I get back. And if the bug's not too close, you can actually just stand here and he actually can't snipe you. And it's random whether or not the bug spawns close or not. Alright, so round 2. And we'll see if we can do this in one shot here. I say one shot, second try is the charm. Alright, so when he teleports here, you want to jump up and into the thing. If you want to be a little bit more safe, you can come over here. If you do a slide jump here, you'll actually be able to get a platform to activate below. There you go. So if you slide there, you'll get the bridge to open. And that makes it so if you fail this, you're less likely to just immediately die. So you want to jump up into this section here. I didn't place Cortex in the best spot, so it can be a little bit difficult. Going around this way is safer, but it is a little slower. So it's up to you whether or not you want the safety or if you want the speed. It's really up to you. There we go. So once you get up top, bring the camera with you, and we're just gonna slide jump over this way. Here, you want to aim for like where that black part is and the fans are. And then you'll land on this. And then you want to jump in between here, and you'll land onto this metal section here. And you'll just proceed as normal. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to grab Cortex. And here, you want to throw him just a little forward. So he teleports back. And you want to spin throw Cortex into the acid. So, like that. Jump forward. And you need to make sure you're fast there. It's actually very important that you're fast on that throw. So spin him ahead to begin with. Grab him. Spin throw him into the acid. Jump ahead. And then jump onto here. Cortex will teleport up to the top there. That's fine. Make sure you're a little fast here as well. Because if you're not, Cortex can actually get knocked off. Alright. And make sure you don't slide jump forward because you can't get out of that area. So grab Cortex here, and what you're going to do is you're actually going to wait for this platform to go up, and then you're just going to throw Cortex here, and he'll spin the wheel. And when he teleports back, then that means you can simply just jump down and finish the level as normal. So these are the two routes that you can do for all levels in Boiler Room Doom, and depending on what level of skill, what type of speed you want, you can choose on which strats to do. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and hopefully your all level runs will go a little bit smoother from now on.